Hello everybody, and welcome back to Random Thoughts. I am your humble DM, Tim, and today we're going to talk about space hippos, or as they are more commonly known, the Giff, or indeed, the Giff. Because, interestingly enough, that is actually an element of the background of this particular species, that they are in two camps as to how to pronounce their name, whether it is with the hard G or the soft G. So it is up to you whether they are the Giff or the Giff, but I prefer to refer to them as the Giff. And we'll henceforth be doing that for the rest of this video. Anyway, with that silliness out of the way, the Giff are another species that come from Spelljammer, so you'll be able to find them in the Astral Adventurer's Guide. They are on page 12. Now, why, just before we get into that actually, why might one want to play as a space hippo? Well, I'll tell you. One of the cool things about the Giff is, in a way, they are kind of like space Mandalorians. Well, Mandalorians are from space, but they're kind of like D&D Mandalorians. They have a religion that is based around weapons, or most notably, firearms. And so, if you ever want to build yourself a gunslinger character, the Giff is actually a really good place to start. And I'll go into my experiences as playing as one of these in a moment. But for now, let's go through what you get if you want to play one of these cool hippo characters. You are a humanoid. You have a walking speed of 30 speed and a swim speed equal to your walking speed. You have an ability called the Astral Spark. Your psionic connection to the astral plane enables you to mystically access a spark of divine power, which you can channel through your weapons. When you hit a target with a simple or martial weapon, you can cause the target to take extra force damage equal to your proficiency bonus, and you can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So right off the bat, you're already doing additional damage once per turn with your space hippo. You have the ability Firearms Mastery. You have a mystical connection to firearms that traces back to the gods of the Giff, who delighted in such weapons. You have proficiency with all firearms and ignore the loading property of any firearm. In addition, attacking at long range with a firearm doesn't impose disadvantage on your attack roll. So, effectively what you get with that is you get the gunner trait, except for the ability to shoot up close. But you also get, or the gunner feat, I should say, but you also get, what's the word I'm looking for? Sharpshooter. You also get the sharpshooter feat, because you ignore the range penalty for long range, which, again, very, very good. Now, you don't necessarily have to use a firearm. You can still use a bow. It just means that you're automatically set up to be able to use firearms more effectively than all of the other species out there right off the bat. And then you have Hippo Build. You have advantage on strength-based ability checks and strength saving throws. In addition, you count as one side larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, and lift. So very similar to Goliaths in that regard. One of the interesting things actually about Giff, because of that, they actually do make pretty decent barbarians. If you want to completely forego the firearms mastery aspect of it and go and make yourself a melee Giff, it works quite well in that, especially with the Astral Spark giving the additional damage on top of whatever else you manage to pull. Now, when I decided to play as a Giff, I actually took inspiration from this book, specifically this little piece of artwork. If you can see it here, I'll put it up anyway. A Giff covered in leather with explosive bottles of some kind and a rifle slung. That, to me, is a character that already told a story. When I saw that character, I thought to myself, now that's definitely a rogue of some kind. Now, again, right off the bat, the idea of a stealthy hippo is just hilarious on the face of it. But having a secret agent, like a Solid Snake type character, an assassin, a sniper, that is also a hippo, just in my mind, the imagery, though hilarious, really does make for interesting storytelling. And so the way that I built my Giff was, his name was Ivan Tash Ut a Lot. So Ivan Tash Ut a Lot, or I want to shoot a lot. Of course, you've got to make a silly pun when it comes to characters like this. He was a 2-level artificer, and the rest of his levels were assassin rogue. Literally the idea being that you stand back, you make the first shot, you get the critical hit, or you always use your steady aim, get the critical hit, get the astral spark on there, and just pile on the damage. And the reason for the 2 levels, actually I think it was 3 levels now that I think about it, because yes, it was 3 levels because of the potions, that was it. It was 3 levels because I wanted the alchemist feat, because alchemists get the ability to mix up their potions. They're probably the most overlooked when it comes to the different artificer classes, because honestly, as their skills scale, they really do get left behind by all of the other artificer classes. But for a 3-level dip, not a bad choice. So the idea being that he has minimal magical abilities, but he can mix up his potions that he has on his belt. So he basically has the healing potions, or the flying potions, or speed potions. So he's got different potions that he mixes up in order to give him additional abilities. But the other main reason why you want to go with Artificer is so that you can get the repeating shot infusion, which means that you get yourself a +1 magical gun that doesn't run out of ammunition, because ammunition can be a real bitch if your DM decides to actually count it. And for the most part, that's really all there was to it. You can do this, again, you don't necessarily have to do this with a Giff, but in my experience, it was a lot of fun doing it because, like I was saying, the imagery alone of having a space hippo sneaking about the place, being incredibly stealthy and just picking off people from a great distance and never being seen, just this lumbering shadow, is just awesome. I love the image in my head. So yeah, if you've never considered playing as a space hippo, or if you're looking for something a bit more unique, if you want to build yourself your next gunfighter, or even the critical role gunslinger class works very, very well with this. Actually, another one that would actually work really well currently is if you dip in with the Warlock as well, depending on which way you want to go. The Warlock's ability to take a magical weapon and change its damage type is really, really good, and would actually make for a really, really good assassin. But yeah, just off the top of my head. Just off the top of my head, would it make a really interesting Giff if you want to completely forego the entire gun thing? A Giff monk. Honestly, I'd love to see that. Like, rather than Kung Fu Panda, Kung Fu Hippo. Alright, I'm starting to spiral here, just thinking of different ideas that you can do with the Giff. But yeah, anyway, bit of a shorter one for today. I haven't had as much experience with the Giff, but honestly, like I was saying, if you're looking for something that gives you the background feel of the Mandalorians from Star Wars, a species that worships firearms and can utilize them better than most species out there, try out a Giff. And until next time, everybody, remember to keep on blending. Bye!